Haven't done a video about Matt Walsh in a little bit. Let's watch him get triggered by the Little Mermaid song.
Well, after months of anticipation, the new Little Mermaid film finally released to theaters over the weekend. As expected, the film is garbage, and I can offer that review despite not seeing it.
He only thinks it's garbage because there's a black chick in it.
For the same reason that I don't need to go order a Whopper at the new Burger King down the street in order to assess the quality of the food. I already know that the fries will be lukewarm and soggy. The bun on the burger will also be soggy. The mayo will be scalding hot because they put the whole thing in the microwave. And the entire meal will be 3,500 calories, but I'll still be hungry 45 minutes after eating it because the food is made out of congealed grease and has no substantive nutritional value. I also know that the employee who serves me the food will scowl at
Okay, this is stupid. Is this about Burger King or the Little Mermaid? Come on, dude.
me because he hates every customer who commits the sin of trying to patronize the establishment where he works. He'll also
Is he required to say a certain number of words in his videos, so he's just spewing out a bunch of stuff?
speak in a barely audible mumble so that I have no idea whether he even got my order or not. And then when the food comes out, it'll be clear that he didn't get the order right, but I'll just leave with the wrong order because it's not worth the trouble of trying to get a practically catatonic customer service worker to correct the mistake without making additional mistakes on top of it. That is the Burger King experience, no matter.
Wow, I mean, what Burger King is he going to? I mean, that is obviously not all Burger Kings. This dude is literally a dumbass, and I doubt he's ever been to a Burger King in his life.
Matter which location you happen to be patronizing. And the same goes for Disney's cash grab remakes and for almost everything that Disney produces, even if they aren't remakes, because after all, it's not like Disney only makes remakes. They also make sequels, and they make sequels to remakes, and they make remakes of sequels.
And they all make a lot of money.
Altogether, Disney is the fast food of the cinematic world. They churn out the same sludge over and over and over again. There is no creativity. There is no artistic inspiration. Nobody involved has any love or interest for or in the projects that they're working on.
Which is why they make a lot of money off their movies, because nobody is interested whatsoever.
That's the point. Like, nobody involved in it actually cares about the story. The people involved in the Little Mermaid remake had all the creative passion as the guy working the fry machine at the Burger King.
Right. And Matt Walsh knows this firsthand because he went and talked to everybody who works on the projects.
It's the same kind of thing. Disney isn't trying to tell great stories anymore. They're just pumping out content for the masses and things for us to mindlessly consume. That's all they care about.
And one can say the same thing about you, Matt Walsh, who mindlessly pumps out videos to make your audience mad about nothing so that you can, get in on that cash grab. That's why you sell merchandise.
That's how I know The Little Mermaid is bad, because there is not one single person involved in the project who cares about making it good.
Again, how does Matt Walsh knows this? Has he talked to everybody who's working on any of these projects?
I also know it's bad because the reviews say so. And it's not that I trust what reviewers say, of course. It's that I trust what they don't say. You can't tell much about a movie by reading what the critics write, but you can often tell everything you need to tell by reading what's in between the lines. And in this case,
reading in between the lines, so reading and making up whatever you want, because reading in between the lines means nothing.
The reviewers have generally agreed that The Little Mermaid is derivative and pointless and unnecessary and dull, and it has dreary animation and some subpar voice acting.
Okay, yeah, there is a lot of critics that have disliked a lot of movies, but the audience still liked it.
Yet they've given the film high marks anyway, based on the sensational performance of the lead actress, Halle Bailey. The critics, they wouldn't dream of outright panning a film starring a black Little Mermaid. They have to find a way to like it, otherwise they'll be racist. And these are always the most damning reviews.
I mean, well, if they disliked the movie just because it was a black chick, yeah, they would be racist.
Not the ones where critics give the film a thumbs down, but the ones where they're contorting themselves into all kinds of ungodly shapes in order to find a way to not give it a thumbs down.
and you're contorting yourself into all manner of uh, unholy shapes to find reasons to dislike the movie.
Though some critics were more forthright in their criticism. The New York Times review from film critic Wesley Morris does praise the movie, of course, for its diversity and noble intentions, but it says that it's missing some things. Specifically, Morris laments that the story.
You know, what's really funny is right-wingers are upset about a movie created by a gay dude to express his love for another dude. If they truly cared about Little Mermaid, they would know that.
Lacks, quote, joy, fun, mystery, risk, and flavor. And that all makes sense so far. The Disney content engine is specifically designed to avoid risk and instead produce fun content that is entirely devoid of fun. But Wesley goes further. He also says that kink is missing. Yes, Wesley Morris of the New York Times feels deeply wounded that the new Little Mermaid movie is not kinky. It apparently does not highlight any deviant sexual practices. There are no fetishes put on display or even discussed. And Morris is surprised by this, I guess. Those of us who have
Okay, big whoop. One critic said this. What is that supposed to mean?
seen Disney's trajectory in recent years may be sort of surprised by it too, but the difference is that we are pleasantly surprised, whereas Morris grieves. He can't believe, he's so sad that there's no kinkiness in Little Mermaid. People are raving about Genucel products. My show's editor.
Let's skip his ad.
Now, this criticism is bizarre and gross, to say the least, and it was originally going to be the actual subject of this cancellation. But plans changed when I stumbled upon something else related to the new Little Mermaid.
Oh, so the song is supposed to be worse than a dude saying that there should be some kind of kink in a kid's movie? I mean, I guess the song is going to be worse. It's probably going to talk about like being inclusive or something, and Matt Walsh being a Nazi hates inclusivity.
Apparently, Disney did not simply remake their own film shot by shot. They did change a few things. They made the cast more diverse, of course. They also added a couple of songs. They changed some of the original songs to make them more politically correct and inoffensive to the modern ear, but they also added one or two new numbers. One of the new numbers is a song performed by the seagull character, voiced by a comedian who goes by the stage name Aquafina. Now, this song has gone viral over the past couple of days, but not for the reasons that Disney would prefer. I'm not going to make you listen to very long. I can only play a very short snippet of this. Anything longer will violate copyright laws, also probably the Geneva Convention. But
Right, playing the song will somehow. That was supposed to be a joke of his? Playing the song will violate the Geneva Convention. I mean, the video or not, but yeah, that was a pretty nice song.
now, in some ways, this is an appropriate song for The Little Mermaid because listening to it makes me want to throw myself into the sea. Words cannot capture just how terrible it is. If I
Okay, why do you hate it? Is because it's a black chick singing it?
heard this song, and then over the next 12 hours, my house burned down, and I lost my job, and I was diagnosed with a terminal illness,
Wow, that was so funny. You burned down your house and quit your job.
the song would still be the worst thing that happened to me that day. If I had a time machine, I would go back in time and kill the person who invented music before they could invent it, just to prevent this song from being made.
Oh, that's pretty stupid.
It would be better to erase music from human history altogether than to allow this song to exist.
Wow, he now hates music because there's music in a movie with a black person that's starring in the movie. That's pretty hilarious. He is so triggered, so fragile.
This song, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like what might happen if you put a group of deaf schizophrenics into a room with a keyboard and a bunch of pots and pans and recorded the random noises that they produced.
Wow, what a piece of shit.
And what makes this so especially sinister is that little kids will watch this movie.
Wow, the song is sinister because it's talking about meeting a prince.
And the intelligent children with good taste will hear that song and they will cry and they will turn to their parents and say, "Why is this happening, mommy?
Wow, $1,000 for things that will never happen.
Please make the bad sounds go away." But the less discerning children might like the song And then they'll spend the next 7 months listening to it on repeat
Oh no, people, your kids may like a song. That's bad.
as their parents slowly go insane. There will be parents who play this song in the car in order to satisfy their whiny kids, which
Yeah, that happens with anything kids like. They will want to have it played on repeat. Movies, songs, audiobooks, whatever. And parents will play it to keep their kids happy because that's what parents do.
will create extremely unsafe road conditions. I mean, texting while driving is dangerous. Driving under the influence is even more dangerous. But most dangerous of all is to subject yourself to psychological torture while trying to drive a minivan full of kids down the highway.
Wow, so kids wanting to listen to music is psychological torture? That is pretty wild. Is this how he views kids? Like when his own kids wants to listen to music, does he consider that to be psychological torture? Wow.
That's what's going to happen now. What I'm trying to say is that I don't like the song. And the most damning thing I can say about it is that it perfectly represents the modern Disney.
What? Music represents modern Disney? Well, yeah, they do like having a lot of music in their movies.
When people utterly bereft of creative skill try to create something of their own, this is what you end up with. It's like if one of the, to go back to the Burger King analogy, it's like if one of the teenage fry cooks at Burger King actually tried to make a unique dish using the ingredients available in the kitchen. You'd end up with some ungodly abomination that makes the soggy Whopper look edible by comparison.
No, I mean, somebody with some talents can actually use the ingredients that you get at Burger King to make something. I doubt Matt, I mean, what does Matt Walsh even knows? He can't even cook for himself. He can't even do his own laundry or anything like that for himself.
So there's a reason these companies
It's funny how a dude with no creativity whatsoever, like chastising, writers and uh, animators and stuff for making a movie and being creative. Like he is the least creative person you can find.
just stick to the formula. All they have is the formula. They don't have the ability to do anything different or interesting. Disney has chased all the real artistic talents away. They're
Right, which is why Disney makes billions of dollars because they've chased all the artistic talent away.
left with a woman who borrows her stage name from a bottled water company. And this is what you get from her.
Okay, who cares about what name she chose and how she chose it?
There are creative people left in the world. There are artists out there who make great films.
Right, and right-wingers are the very least creative people ever. Uh, that's why none of their type of medias ever work out too well.
Make beautiful music, other forms of art. They do exist. Good art still exists. It's just that you're not going to get it from Disney.
Oh, this is funny. Another triggered Matt Walsh being triggered over Disney, and the right-wingers hate over Disney being inclusive and stuff. Yep, Nazis hate it when people accept those that are different backgrounds, nationalities, skin tones, and orientations and stuff because it goes against their hegemony and their ability to control others.